welcome to Tech Talks with Ligona. Our guest today is Snehal Hosmani, a current graduate student pursuing Masters in Machine Learning at Stevenson Institute of Technology. Prior to this, Snehal worked as a software engineer at Sony India Center, where she worked on the integration solutions, Python, and automation for the Sony Electronic department. Snehal talks about how she got inspired to pursue machine learning and why she opted for machine learning and why she decided to leave a good paying job and go back for graduate school. Please join us as we talk about how this is going to change her life for the future and why she thinks machine learning is the best option for her. Hello, Snehal. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Madonna. Hi. How are you doing today?
I am so great. And I'm so happy that we do this on Fridays because it always feels like, oh, it's a Friday and not in a bad way, but actually in a nice way where I'm like, yeah, I really enjoy it being the last day of the week.
Yeah.
Kind of. And then Saturdays and Sundays are just resting and resting. Yes, and relaxing. So, Snehal, do you mind introducing yourself?
Yes, sure. So I'm Snehal Hosmani. I am currently studying machine learning at Stevens Institute of Technology. I'm a graduate student. So I just moved to USA. So it's been like just a month and a half. Prior to this, I was working as a software engineer
Yeah.
at Sony India Software Center for almost about 4 years.
Wow.
So over there, I worked, for Sony Electronics on the integration platform. So that's all about me.
Actually, there's a lot there because I'm pretty impressed by your path because it does feel like you actually opted to quit working and pursue graduate school. And I feel like that is something that actually a mentor reached out to me, a student, not a student, actually she was working and she reached out to me asking me if I would offer any advice because she wanted to actually also stop working and go back to do graduate school like a PhD. And I didn't know what to tell her. So what can you tell her about that? What can you tell?
So, if somebody asked me if, they want to go back to graduate school and is it worth it? I mean, my answer would be definitely a big yes. Because honestly, I mean, see, we all know that we have all the resources out there. Like, you want to learn machine learning, you want to learn data science, you want to learn digital marketing, you find everything online. Like, everything is online and you can probably complete it in 6 months at your own pace. But I kind of prefer graduate school over online because graduate school kind of gives me that environment. I have peers, I have professors who I can talk to. I get to interact with professors who are doing such great research in those areas, and I get to know so many different perspectives from my peers in college when I interact with them. So, I mean, that is something that one misses out if they don't attend graduate school. So if you have a chance to attend a school, you should definitely do it. Like, I mean, that's my suggestion. It's okay. Take that leap of faith. It's okay. I mean, I was working. Okay, I was like a software engineer. And I was working for 4 years, and I was being paid a good amount, but it was kind of, I mean, it was not in the path that I wanted to pursue. So I was like, wait, let me just pivot. It's okay. I'll just take a 2 year break or something. And I know it's going to benefit me later. I'm going to make sure that it benefits me later. And I mean, thanks to my parents, they supported me. And here I am now pursuing my, graduate school. So if anybody wants to take that leap of faith, the answer is a definite yes. You should do it for sure. Just make sure to utilize all the resources.
Because it was
Yeah.
so spontaneous.
I
Yeah.
know. Okay. So, Snehal, I wanted to ask you why machine learning?
Okay. So, okay. I mean, computer science in general or anything related to computers has always interested me.
Yeah.
I mean, I just, I really go back to the basics, like where does it all start and the software side of it. And it just blows my mind. Like it's just two digits, 1 and 0.
Yeah.
And, the things that is happening, like we are able to talk now
Yeah.
And there are so many things out there happening, like, chips being manufactured,
Yeah.
prosthetic legs, or, so many automation like self-driving cars,
Yes.
so many improvements. I mean, it's no doubt that machine learning and AI is our future. I mean, we are going to advance for sure. We are going to be smart in every possible way. We are
Mm-hmm.
going to have these automations in our lives. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm pretty sure in decade or two we will have all these assisting robots or whatever. I know that, whatever you see in those
Yeah.
sci-fi movies, that is going
Yeah.
to happen pretty
Ah,
soon.
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm
so
a,
I
mhm.
want to be a part of it. That's why.
Oh, that's
Machine
amazing.
learning.
So funny
Yeah.
enough, I'm also a sci-fi like fanatic,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I also did do a little bit of machine learning, like in research,
Mm-hmm.
just on the side before. Like I really stayed in Android. But you're
Mm-hmm.
right, I do like machine learning and deep
Mm-hmm.
learning and artificial
Mm-hmm.
intelligence. It's pretty good stuff. And
Yeah.
I worked with a company where we used to build air core, where we would
Mm-hmm.
visualize
Mm-hmm.
visualize like the house in a way where you can place measurement.
Uh-huh.
It's like VR, which is
Yeah.
super cool. Now,
Yeah.
machine learning is actually transforming businesses, right?
Yeah.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
wondering, what stack do you learn at school? Because maybe
Mm-hmm.
somebody might be interested into knowing what stack actually do
Mm-hmm.
they teach, or what stack does machine learning
Yeah.
use? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So right now I have like two courses that I take, which are machine learning courses. So basically, what I observed in school and what I observe in any online program is that
Yeah.
in school they delve a lot into mathematics,
Yeah.
the basics, so that our foundation is very strong.
Mm-hmm.
So even the assignments that we get, even though we have numerous libraries that will get our work done in just one sentence, they
Mm-hmm.
want us to, do it by ourselves, like write the whole code by ourselves so that we know the mathematics that's happening behind it.
Oh
So
yeah.
right now we are just dealing with two libraries, that is NumPy and Pandas,
Yeah.
and doing all sorts of matrix constructions, calculations. I mean, even if it's a simple algorithm like TF, IDF,
Yeah.
just weighing the Word document,
Yeah.
we have to do it by ourselves. Like they're like strictly no using of libraries because we want you to know what is
That's true.
actually happening behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what. So if to answer your question, what stack
Mm-hmm.
my college uses, so I
Mm-hmm.
can literally say two libraries, NumPy and Pandas, as of now because I'm in first semester.
Yeah.
But me speaking to my seniors, so they do. I mean, we do end up using libraries like TensorFlow and Keras for our
Yeah.
projects.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, I mean, in graduate school particularly,
Mm-hmm.
they will probably concentrate more on math, your basic knowledge of math. They'll make sure that your foundation is strong.
Yeah.
And then it's left to you how you utilize the knowledge that you have got and
Yeah.
how you use all the tools out there. So
Yeah.
I have another course called Big Data Technology. So I
Yeah.
opted it because right now all the data that we're getting is really big,
Yeah.
and so machine learning has to work with big data, simultaneously. They have to kind of join hands and work.
Yeah.
And right now all the algorithms that we have, most of the algorithms that are designed, even ML algorithms,
Mm-hmm.
they are they're not designed in a way to handle big data.
Yeah.
So this course is so great. Like I've been reading papers, like, white papers from Google, from Twitter, their experience with, how they handled their infrastructure for the data, how the
Yeah.
data grew and
Yeah.
how they incorporate these ML algorithms, because in the end they want to derive, some, like you said, they want to help their business grow
Yeah.
with this big data that they've collected, and they need machine learning algorithms to make some smart, predictions or future
Prediction.
predictions.
Yes. Yes.
So these kind of go hand in hand. So I've also taken this course, and this course is teaching me in great detail about,
Mm-hmm.
tools like Apache Spark and
Yeah.
the pig scripting that goes into big data. So they
Yeah.
all go hand in hand. If you see, I mean, right now I'm an ML major, but I also kind of concentrate on this because I know when I go out in corporate world, I will need a package of this to present myself to recruiters that yes, I know this as well. And I can manage, I can combine two fields and I have this knowledge basically.
Oh my God, that's a very good point. And I think when you mentioned matrix
Mhm.
multiplication, I remembered
Mhm.
when I was actually doing machine learning, I did a bit
Mhm.
of a swim swap.
Mhm.
And yeah, it does make sense now that there's a lot of matrix and mathematics involved in machine learning.
Mhm.
Now that you
Mhm.
mentioned it, which is pretty cool. And I think for anybody that's also trying to join or study machine
Mhm.
learning, definitely I think the recommendation that you're given there is that they have to be good in the basics and also know a
Mhm.
little bit of math. I do
Yeah.
know, however, that Google already has provided a bunch of great libraries already, like
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
solve the problem. But you're right. I
Yeah.
feel like if you want to understand the background of
Yeah.
whether something is working, you have to dig deep
Yeah.
and not use the
Yeah.
libraries yourself. Yeah. Kind of
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah. So I mean, like, so basically, if you want to get into machine learning research,
yeah.
then it's a must that you should know the math that is going behind it.
Mhm.
But if you're just a software engineer and just want to build a small ML app, if you just know that, okay, this, like, if you just have a knowledge, like, just, I don't know, like, superficial knowledge that, okay, this is what's happening,
Yeah.
so that you can, in a proper way, in a proper position, call that library to do your work, that is enough. But
Yeah.
if you really want to get deep into machine learning, yes, you should know maths. I
Ah,
mean,
perfect.
yeah, yeah. So,
I really love that. And thank you so much for walking us through that. I do have a segment that I added about what tech
mhm,
you have, or so what phone
mhm.
do you have? What earbuds do you have? And what phone do you have? Because now it feels like everything now is tech, even the watch
Yeah.
you're wearing.
Yeah. So, right. I mean, when I moved to USA, so my aunt got me iPhone 11.
Oh,
So
nice.
I have that phone. But my laptop is an Acer Predator. So
Yeah.
I needed high processing power and I got it at a very good price.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I wanted to do, there was a phase of mine where I wanted to experiment with video editing and a little bit of gaming. So I thought Acer Predator was the go to because the specs that it has is amazing.
It's amazing. Mhm.
Yeah. And yeah, I think, yeah, this is Sony headphones. Sony is best. So,
Oh, you don't? Do you have a watch? Do you have the tech watch?
no,
Not
I
yet.
don't have that tech watch, not yet. So this was given by my employer. So I
Oh,
mean,
nice.
so they had, usual. So you must know Diwali, right? The festival,
Yes, I
the
know
Hindu
Diwali.
festival,
Yeah.
Diwali.
Yeah.
So back in India, it's a big thing. So it's like every major company gives away something or the another to their employees
Ah,
during that. So
yeah.
that's when I
Diwali.
got this. Yeah.
Nice. Actually, let's go back a little bit to your experience as a software engineer at
Mm-hmm.
Sony and walk
Mm-hmm.
us through just
Mm-hmm.
like what you used to do, how fun it was, or
Mm-hmm.
like just walk us through it. I just want to learn from you. I want to hear your experience.
Yeah, sure, sure. First of all, my growth at Sony was amazing.
Mhm.
I mean, especially in Sony India, the people there were very supportive. Like supportive in the sense that I knew MD, like me and the Sony India. Actually, the MD was for whole region of, North America and India and other
Yeah.
segments.
Yes.
And he was very friendly. Like he used to talk to people. So the culture in Sony is amazing. First thing that. So it helped me grow a lot. My manager was very supportive. I had great mentors.
Oh,
So first thing, so like I said, I worked on integration solutions, right?
yeah.
So I used tools. So it was majorly Red Hat Linux,
Mhm.
and then we
Oh,
had
Linux. I like
yeah, Linux.
Linux. Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
amazing, and on that we had these tools from IBM
Hmm.
called IBM Ace. And then
Yeah.
also we had another tool. I mean, there was a phase where we had to experiment between MuleSoft and Informatica. And
Yeah.
also we had, I mean, because most of our servers were on site,
Yeah.
so we had to kind of, evaluate, like we were planning to move it to AWS or cloud because that's the next big thing and everyone
Yes.
wants to move to
I
cloud.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did a little bit of that, just experiment between AWS, GCP, and also experiment between Informatica, MuleSoft. But apart from that, majorly all my tasks were, around automating all the things that happened in Linux. So there were so many jobs that required a lot of time. So
Mm-hmm.
I spent, most of my time writing scripts, either in Shell script or Python script, and making sure I automate it, and
Yeah.
also build standalone applications for the team so that their work is kind of easy. And I was talking how supportive all my managers and people there were.
Yeah.
So in Sony, they conduct this I don't know, competitions, I guess. So basically, they want new ideas coming from employees, right? So they have
Yeah.
this innovation forum. So my manager always pushed me, you should do something. And that's how me and another colleague of mine, we collaborated and we created this Sony Store Assistant. So it's
Wow.
basically whenever you walk into a Sony store,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the assistant, a voice assistant, will just walk you through. So she or he will keep track of whatever items you purchased and what next item you should purchase that will
Mm-hmm.
match with the previous purchase or will just enhance your uh, Sony products accordingly. So
Wow.
we built that assistant tool, and it was good. It was so good that we were sent to Tokyo to showcase that to all the executives. Like there was a huge exhibition, and they called people from across globe,
Wow.
all the Sony people,
Mm-hmm.
and then so I think I don't know. There were like so many people who applied, but they just chose top probably 30, and they called us to Tokyo. It was like a 5-day thing. We had
Mm-hmm.
to showcase it to numerous executives,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just that I think Sony does it so that they need to know like what they need to work on next, like where can they head. So that was one good thing. I mean, Tokyo was amazing, and
Yeah,
the
nice.
people I interacted there with, so good. So
Oh,
yeah,
I
that
love
was
when sorry, go on.
no, I mean, I was just concluding. So yeah, that's my journey with Sony. Amazing, basically amazing.
Oh, I love when people travel to showcase their
Mhm.
work. That is so cool. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah,
And I know
thank
I've seen
you.
you in a couple of GDG in New York, so
Mm-hmm.
welcome. And I
Mm-hmm.
see you're doing pretty good thing with the community. So what do you think about the community so far?
Community is amazing. So basically, I think for this I have to credit to my friends. So I have
Mm-hmm.
two of my friends back there in India called Supriya and Girish.
Yeah,
So these people got me started with communities.
nice.
So we three together, I mean, yeah, so like we had this plan that actually one of my friend Girish, who I was talking, so he was like, we need to get GDG, I mean, a chapter of GDG in our town,
Yeah,
because that is what is missing, because we have so many engineers and there is no sense of community here.
yeah.
And that's when we started. I mean, even though I wasn't an organizer because I couldn't commit, I had other commitments, and I was like, it
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be fair just committing, being an organizer, and not giving
Yeah,
my particular set time.
yeah.
So I said that I'll just volunteer. I'll help as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
So those two went ahead and became organizers, and Supriya became a WTO. I would
Yeah,
volunteer, and that is where I got the sense of community, like how much we can contribute to people and how much those people can contribute to us. Like there's
yeah,
a joy. I mean, honestly, there's joy, like just meeting new people, listening to them, what
yeah,
they have to say, and then inspiring them by calling speakers like how GDG and YC does. I
yeah.
mean, yeah. So I got started over there. And then
Mm-hmm.
when I moved to Sony, so we had this woman in technology chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I mean, so it was already there, but it was kind of, dying down. Basically, it was not that active. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, I took it as my mission to make it active.
Again, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So for almost 1.5 to 2 years, I
Mm-hmm.
was just, like organizing events for all. Basically, I mean, it says women in technology, but we are inclusive and we organize events for everybody.
That's
So
true.
for almost 1,500 employees, we organize various events. We call
Mm-hmm.
so many good people. We had such great events. Like
Mm-hmm.
earlier, I mean, there was a phase where we had to pull people to attend our events when I had just joined. They're like,
Yeah,
oh, we have a discussion panel, please come because we have invited guests over.
yeah.
But then after this, oh my God, like we have 100 people, 200 people voluntarily coming to
Wow.
our events. So
Mm-hmm.
that was one amazing streak. And interacting with women again is like, I mean, I get to learn so much, and how there's so much biases amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Like to mention this one. So we had this I know lunch, with all senior people at Sony, senior women people, and I think two women, a woman in technology, people from I think Culver City, California, they had come down, and we all were having lunch and discussing. And so one of my senior pointed out this during that discussion, that me being a woman, how even I am biased and why we need women in tech. So she's the director, and she had this opportunity to send somebody on site to work on site, and she had two candidates that she could send. One was a man and one was a recently wed woman. And so when she had that decision to make, she didn't, I mean, it was like she directly assumed that, oh, because she is recently wed, she might not go. And she didn't even ask her, and she just asked the man and she sent him. And then later on she realized that how bad it was on my part. I mean, I just dropped somebody off her opportunity. She could have gone, right? So I have this bias, and with women in tech, that is what we want to do, make sure that what mistake I did, nobody else repeats. So nobody has this bias. We have to give equal opportunities to everybody. So that was one amazing discussion.